The Sith were the ultimate enemy of the Jedi, but their numbers meant they had to employ underhand tactics in order to achieve victory. But what would have happened if there were more Sith? So, for this theory, we're going to say that Darth Sidious decides he won't follow the rule of two, and when he becomes Emperor, he starts a new initiative, training Force sensitives in the ways of the dark side. So, the ranks of the Empire would slowly but surely begin to fill with Sith, similarly to how the Jedi were in the Republic. But, to understand how this would happen, we first need to look back at the ancient Sith. The idea of there being two Sith is a very old one, and it's represented in everything from ancient philosophy to their architecture.
Two must lift these stones. No more, no less. That is the way of the Sith.
But if we look back to the time of the Sith Empire-Republic War, there was many Sith. However, there was a problem with this. The Sith don't get along, and ultimately infighting made them a weaker threat. This allowed the Republic to easily defeat the Sith, and this led to Darth Bane creating the Rule of Two, which only allowed two Sith to exist at one time, a master and an apprentice. Essentially, the idea was that there wasn't enough power available for so many Sith to exist. There could only be two states, a master to hold the power and an apprentice to crave it. Eventually the apprentice would kill the master and take their place and get an apprentice of their own, but there would never be more than two. So for this theory, we're going to say that Sidious doesn't follow this, and initially seems like a pretty good idea. Sith are incredible warriors, and with the ranks of the Empire holding numerous Sith, they would make competent commanders as well as lethal lone soldiers. Not only this, but Jedi remnants would fall considerably quicker, with someone other than Vader cleaning up the remnants of the old Republic. As well as this, with this many Force sensitives bidding for the Empire's approval, it's likely that the Empire would not be defeated. The Rebellion had enough problems dealing with the likes of Vader and Sidious, but an army of elite, fully trained Sith warriors, Luke and the rest of the Rebellion would be slaughtered. So the problem isn't obvious straight away. The real issue comes maybe 50 to 100 years later, once those Sith acolytes and apprentices grow more and more powerful, and some of them even would be masters with their own apprentices, their own legions of stormtroopers, fleets, and systems under their boot. The problem is, the philosophy of the Sith, they seek power above all else, and sooner or later, that's going to eventually lead to their downfall. So, assuming Sidious is not overthrown by an overzealous apprentice, eventually he will die. He's not truly immortal, and when he does, the power vacuum left behind will rip all that he's built to pieces. When he's dead, all those Sith would attempt to take whatever they could, and a civil war between Sith Lords would devastate the galaxy. It's incredibly likely no one would win entirely. The Empire would be split into smaller states, each run by their own Sith warlord, who runs their own territory, and planning on how they can defeat the others and expand their reach. The galaxy would be turned into a string of bickering mini-empires, doing whatever it took to grow their power base. There would be constant war with little to no cooperation or trade, meaning a weak economy. Essentially, the galaxy's residents would live in terror. It would be the autocracy of the Empire, but with the uncertainty of the Sith. But what do you think a galaxy in the hands of Sith warlords would look like? Thanks for watching, please like and sub for more content, and follow me on Twitter at The Lore Guy for regular updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.